Hello everybody, welcome back to Mass Effect Andromeda. Picking up where we left off, I've actually already lost the road that I was going for. I looked at the map and I'm like, if I go straight ahead, I can find a road. Oh, apparently I'm on the road actually, but okay, I can't tell if like, yeah, that road, where's that one goes? I guess I'll take the left here. There we are. We are on our way to the right side of the map in order to, well, collect this plant sample, for one.
This technology is not registered to either of Kadara's factions, Pathfinder.
Which technology? Oh, maybe this. Let's stop and check it out then. They seem to be fighting over it though. Now this is a thing that I don't know. I guess it... Goodbye. Sorry, Outcast, but... Oh. Ooh. Oof. Dodgy prick, aren't you? Ow. Really? Really? I'm gonna... Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway. A multi-purpose generator. Can I scan? I can scan. Oh wow, look at all that research I just got. Fuck. It's in need of multiple repairs though. That's always not good. Now one nice thing about Kadara is because these guys are all initiative exiles, they have a lot of Milky Way tech. So this planet here is a very good one to get a bunch of Milky Way research. Now what tech he was talking about, I'm not 100% sure. Because I kind of assumed it would be the big thing here in the middle, but he doesn't seem to care about it anymore, so... Unless there's something else I can do, but I'm not seeing any prompts showing up besides generator, which just turned off the shields, which is pretty worthless, so yeah, I don't know. There probably is stuff out these places, you know, because there is a few things like this around. Actually, I should probably... Oh, good. That does lead me right to it then. Because there are a few things like that around where, you know, there's guys fighting over it and
Cora,
you take it for yourself. Hang on. That's
right.
wrong way.
I shouldn't have put my faith in Sarissa. I should have remembered she's just as fallible as me, but I didn't. Happy now?
I'll be happier when you've shot something.
You and me both.
In other words, you need to chill. Alright. Did not realize that the road actually continued through the camp. That does make more sense though, based on the, you know, the map showing me that. But you know, I never said that I was a cartographer. Never claimed to be able to read a map. Oh, there's a quest here, which isn't actually that big of a surprise. There's a few outposts around that give you quests. A couple of them anyway. In fact, I think there's a couple at that wind farm that we drove past. There's another, like, there's like a hotel type place. Oh, right. I think I remember this.
What's happening here?
Who are you? Is this your datapad? Are you one of them?
Who are you afraid of? Who is them?
Whoever's behind all this. Everyone's acting crazy, spouting all that nonsense. I can't remember how it started. I'm not even sure how I got here.
What do you mean?
Nobody's in their right mind. And there are these people, others. They showed up and they left this datapad. Ugh.
You feeling all right?
Terrible migraines. They strike without warning. I think it's them. I heard one of them say, "We left the datapad behind." Ugh. I'm fine now. I'm sorry to trouble you. It was nothing. Be seeing you.
Yeah, because that seems like it was nothing, right? The Krogan and Asari show no signs of neural disruption. Their patterns remained entrained. The Solarian shows signs of some resistance with occasional breaks in pattern. Will likely need to adjust for Solarian physiology. To be on the safe side, entry code has rotated to 9XA2. Alright, let's see. Oh, scan the people, not talk to them.
He exhibits relatively normal brain activity, though there are signs of highly elevated stress.
What can we do for them?
Nothing immediate, though if you scan others, I may be able to locate the source of the signal. They exhibit unusual brain activity. An outside signal is affecting their thought process. Further scans are required. This person shows signs of the same outside interference. I have now traced the source of the signal, marking the nav point on your map.
Okay, so I think the nav point, we should be able to see it from here. I don't remember if it's something out there. Like, I don't remember if it's like a building or just like something on the ground. The fact that it already shows us like within range would lead me to believe that it's close by. But since it is on like one of these
Cora,
planets, it could still
I have
have
a
some
word?
distance. So I'm gonna head to this place.
Andromeda plant sample detected nearby.
Oh right, that's what I came here for in the first place. Hey buddy. Ow, prick. I think it's this purple thing sticking out of the gunk here.
Bolstering all shield.
Come on, just die already. Thank you.
Got them all.
Like I said, I think it's this thing. It is, good. Boop. Alright. So now we'll head to that structure. Because that seems like the most likely source of anything, you know, nearby. Good vantage point to view the test subjects, which we can only assume is what they are, you know. Because I know that they're test subjects. I just don't remember why. I also remember there being a lot of things like on the roofs of these buildings as well. Ah, fuck. Come on. And up. Now, whether or not there's something on the roof of every building, you know, probably not, and clearly not. Okay, aha, but I can scan. There's the transmitter. Probably causing the signal, right? Alright, now, let's go see who's doing this.
What the hell are you doing to those people out there?
It's an experiment.
Physically, no harm has come to them. They're fine.
What sort of people are you?
Unappreciated geniuses.
We used to work for an organization called Cerberus.
Until our boss decided he'd rather spend money on truly crazy ideas like bringing back people from the dead.
Project Lazarus. Pure voodoo.
But in Andromeda, we're our own masters. And what you saw out there, it's the birth of something amazing. A biological network.
A host of minds all linked together. Connected. We're harnessing the power of consciousness to create a new kind of supercomputer.
What is Cerberus about?
Purity. We think humanity should chart its own course. Free of alien laws, or the morality designed to hold us back.
Our boss was straying from the path. Lost his focus. He and that Lawson woman were recruiting all the wrong people. Friends in low places.
Andromeda is a chance for a do-over. Humanity should call the shots here. The rest can follow our lead.
Yeah, if you never played the other ones, in the first game, Cerberus was very much a racist organization. Like, supremely. And then in the second one, for some reason, they decided that Cerberus was going to be the people who bring Shepard back because he was the hero and he was a human. Therefore, you know, you should be able to help them. And they were still racist, but they really let off a lot on the racism part for the second one since you were, in fact, working for them. I imagine that was why they did it. And you end up recruiting Krogan, Asari, Turian, whatever, right? Like, you get a bunch of your own, or well, I guess not a bunch. I mean, you get some of your old team members back. You get a bunch of new ones that were all aliens you once again end up with. I think every Mass Effect in the old one, you always had 2 humans. Right? I think it was just 2 humans as well. For allies. And then in the third one, you leave Cerberus and go back to the Alliance after you're finished doing what you were doing for Cerberus. And they don't... I mean, even in the second one, they still have a humanity first thing going. But, like, a second. I have to keep adjusting the cord on my laptop that's recording because for some reason it keeps stopping the charge and I don't want to lose it again. But like I said, in the first game, if you read the stuff on them, in like the few missions that involve Cerberus. They're like Nazi racist. And then in the second game they pull it back quite a bit. And in the third game, I don't know, in the third game they were really weird. I don't remember them doing anything, like obviously they were still humanity first, but it just seemed to be more that like the whole organization was kind of breaking down. But I mean, that could just be because I haven't played, like I only ever played the third one once all the way through. And that was a long time ago, so maybe I'm just not remembering too much of it. But like, yeah, it didn't seem to be as powerful an organization in the third one. But I could, once again, like I said, be wrong.
What are you doing on Kadara?
The Badlands is a perfect place to do the work that needs to be done. Must be done.
Against all these new threats in Andromeda, it's vital we find an edge for humanity.
What exactly is this experiment doing to those people out there?
The right energy focused at the right frequency can entrain a person's consciousness. The mind is ultimately just electromagnetic patterns.
You mean mind control?
Those people were banished. They're criminals. They were using their minds to make trouble anyway. We thought we'd make better use.
And now, by linking them together, they're like a living computer, but working at the speed of thought. Similar to the computer you've got in your head.
Enough of this. Sam?
I've located the control for the signal. It will shut the experiment down.
We can't stop.
Let's see. We always have to remember when somebody tells us no, that just means we're on the right track. Narrow minds who lack imagination can't be allowed to hold back the geniuses. Let's never forget we scared him. Which, you know, to be fair, once again, if you played the other ones, the elusive man is who they're talking about. They scared him. If what you're doing was too much for him, you really did something wrong. Despite direct order from Miranda Lawson, you continued your research into unauthorized neural research. We already have methods that show great potential for mental control over large groups of people. Your particular avenue of inquiry is unnecessary. Effective immediately, your services will no longer be required and your position within Cerberus is terminated. So that would be the indoctrination that they were researching in... I think maybe that's what they did in the third one, is they really focused on indoctrination. Because like you obviously learn about it in the first game. You expand upon it a little bit in the second one, but I think in the third one, Cerberus goes hard into the indoctrination research. The most powerful computer in existence remains that of the biological brain. Our research will prove out the concept of mental entertainment of a subject's mind at a distance via electromagnetic manipulation. Once entrainment is achieved, multiple subjects can be linked together such that their minds will form a network of vast computational capability. Here's the thing though, right? The most powerful computer remains that of the biological brain. That's, in my opinion, incorrect. Specifically because a computer only knows what you tell it, whereas a brain can learn new things. Now, you could say, oh, it's a learning computer. It's like, sure, but a learning computer will never come up with something on its own, you know? It will always have a basis in something else. Like, that's the thing with, like, what makes, you know, like, if somebody managed to get an AI, like, could a computer ever create an original work of art is a thing, right? And it's like, if they could do that, then would that computer therefore be more or less human, right? Because that they created something that was not already there, you know? Because like a computer, like a robot, advanced enough, obviously, could duplicate any work of art perfectly, 100%. But it's still just a duplication. It's a copy. Whereas a human brain can obviously go down avenues that don't necessarily make sense to a computer. You know, it's whatever. Computer not a brain, or a brain not a computer is basically what I'm saying here. Once the dream of a living neural network is achieved, the possibilities are staggering. Evolution has shaped the mind of each species in unique ways, providing a baseline programming that artificial intelligence from the ground up could never hope to match. For example, Krogan mental abilities are evolved towards war and conquest, or Solarians are adapted to complex scientific considerations. The possibilities are limited only by the species we find. Further, by wielding control over multiple subjects in parallel, we can unleash awesome computing potential unrivaled in the history of technology. Imagine what linking 1 million Asari minds together could accomplish. See, now that's also incorrect. The possibilities are limited only by the species we find. Because that's assuming that Krogan mental abilities, they've evolved towards war and conquest. But that isn't all that they can do. You can technically have a Krogan artist or a Krogan... I'm trying to think, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like other things. All I got is soldier and artist in my mind right now. And like or like a Krogan scientist. There are Krogan scientists. They're working on curing the genophage. If you play the other games, you don't necessarily... You meet one, I think. And even he is also very, war-minded. But, my point is that he does it, and he's working on the genophage. Now, how much, like, because he ends up, I don't know, he kind of clones a guy, but not, like, a Krogan, but not really, or something. I don't know. And then, like, Solarians are complex scientific considerations. Yes, but Solarians also very good soldiers if you, once again, play the other games, And then you have the Asari, and they cover everything as well. Same with humans, It's like, yes, because of their race, they may have leanings towards certain things because of their biology and culture. Like, Krogan have a very warlike culture. So, yes, a Krogan would obviously, growing up within that, become more warlike. It would fit in with the culture. It's the same as in with different humans on Earth, different races have different things, like you take like China, right? Like Chinese people, Japanese people, they put a lot more in their culture. They put a lot more emphasis on school, right? So they tend to learn more. They tend to put more thought and effort into learning, designing, like stuff like that, right? And then you get other cultures that, have once again, different things. Like, you go to some of those places in Africa that's like all fucking war torn, like 24/7, where there's like always a war. And not only in Africa, I know there's some places in Eastern Europe, right, Western Asia, that have war all the time too. And yeah, when somebody growing up in that would obviously become more like that. Now, the thing with that is you also have people who grow up and they just say fuck it to everything that's happening around them, and they go the complete opposite direction. But I mean, obviously, those are few and far between. But yeah, like the possibilities are limited only by species we find. Technically, like it wouldn't make a difference anyway. Research note: we've located the perfect site for experimentation on live test subjects. Kadara's Badlands offer unsupervised access to unwitting test subjects, free from any lawful or ethical constraints. We managed to get ourselves banished to the territory and smuggled our equipment out. We've gathered test subjects from several species in a single location. We'll commence phase 1 testing immediately. Anyway.
How do we shut this experiment down, Sam?
I can tune the signal against the scientists as punishment, freeing the people. The victims will likely suffer complications as a result. Or I can alter the nature of the signal to ease the victim's predicament, unlock the system from further changes.
Or I could just walk away and do nothing.
I mean, here's the thing, right? I would turn it against the scientists, but I mean, how is that making me... Well, I mean, to be fair, still better than them. But not like a huge amount, so...
Change the signal. Try to make things easier on those people.
Ruined it. Those people are no good to us.
Glad I could help. Now go back and crawl under the rock you came from.
I mean, here's the thing, right? My option that I would rather do, right, is just... But unfortunately, the game won't allow that. Now, I think if we go back, we can talk to them, but I don't think that there's a whole lot to do. We'll still go and see, but...
Look at Kadara Port up there. It's like the exiles are playing King of the Mountain.
I think you mean Queen of the Mountain.
Right, yeah. Okay, so yeah, like I said, we'll go talk to them, but I don't think that there's a whole lot you can do. Now, the weird thing about that is it's like, oh, it'll ease their situation. It doesn't say it's going to fix them. But, I mean, you kind of have to assume that that's what he meant by that. Okay, so let's see. Can we talk to... Oh, but we can't talk... Oh, we can't actually talk to them. All right. All right. So, once again, I'm assuming that in the end, that they will, like... Because he said that it would free them from it, but it would it would cause complications. Now, I don't know why he couldn't shut it. Like, I mean, because, like, in the end, the option I would have liked is shut it off and lock it down. But he gave me turn it against the scientists and free them. Okay, I'm lost here. Oh, I know what happened. I need to go the other way to get down there. But yeah, like the options he gave me were turn it on the scientists and free them. You know, I actually might be able to get up there. Or just ease their burden and by the looks of it, not actually free them. Now, once again, that wouldn't, like, my option would be to free them without turning it against the scientists, but I guess that's not an option, which is weird. You would think, you know, destroy the transmitter, right?
What did you do back in the Milky Way?
A job, you mean? Nope, not for me.
Everyone needs to eat. You must have done something.
I did a bunch of things. Scout, courier, shuttle mechanic, short order cook for a while, researcher. The week after that, I switched things up a little.
How did you ever commit to a 600-year intergalactic voyage?
Easy. It was new.
Right. Yeah, now the reason we stopped here is because it is a location. Also, I don't believe for a second that somebody did all those jobs within a week. Which is an issue that I have with, like, TV shows as well. It's like, do you know how long, like, even if you only worked at a job one day, that means that you somehow got a job, started working it for that day, then the next day somehow got hired at a new job where they also let you start that day, and then you never went back. Like, while technically doable, like, the odds... Oh. Like, the odds of you actually managing to, like, get that many jobs in that quick succession. Like, granted, I don't know what, like, the employment rate is like in this future, in this universe. I don't think it comes up in Mass Effect, shockingly enough. You know? I mean, it might in, like, random, like, data pads and whatnot, you know. But, I never read any of it. Like, I don't remember any of it. Now that, I think, yeah, I was going to say, there it is. That's what it is that these locations have shit on the roof. But yeah, like, I know in real life, you can get a job that will, you know, like, day work. But the odds of you having that many in a row, like...
I'll try.
You don't like me.
I don't like your methodology.
Oh, don't hide behind vocabulary.
I mean, but vocabulary is everything. Hang on. Are we... Well, I don't know why it put me all the way over there. Okay, so their hideout is to the right here, or left here. Yeah. So I'll need to find a way past these things.
Mining zones have been added to your nav system.
Yay. I was just about to say, I think there's something to the right there, but I think that might actually just be the mining zones that I remember. Alright. So these are the 3 Sabers guys. Who... I think these were the guys that Sid sent us after. Vetra's sister. Well, I guess she didn't necessarily send us... Oh, no, I guess she did give us their name, didn't she? Alright. 3 Sabers pricks. Perish, eh? Aha! I kill you with an Asari sword. Of course there is. And an agent, eh? Oh, okay. I have a feeling that... And an anarchist. Oh, I have a feeling that he had a... Oh, apparently we already had both of these enemies stand. Alright. I don't remember coming across an agent. I'm assuming that they're shuttling in or something. That's still more named... Oh, pariah. Ugh. Oh, you know what? Maybe that's what that other one said. It didn't say perish. It may have said pariah. No? Oh, yeah, definitely. Probably, yep. Oh. I have a feeling in real life you wouldn't want to shoot over Cora like that. That'd probably be pretty bad. She probably wouldn't enjoy it when she fucking gets like the... I was going to say bullet, but it's not technically bullets, but when it goes whizzing past her head. that. Here it must be. Oh, no. Oh, I don't need that anymore. Interesting. Is it up higher? Oh, it could be. There's a lot of up to this place. Ugh. Ooh, and it's in this corner. Alright, so it's upstairs and in that corner. Wow, it's really in that corner. Alright. Let's go all the way up. Seems like the best choice. I don't want to hear about it. You all knew ousting Yale would make the break with the Nexus final. No loss. That teat was running dry. Going independent isn't just the smart move, it's the only move. Now we've got the gear and the frame to take over this place. Angara, not a problem. Here Yale's on Eos. Forget him. He won't talk. Anything he brings up will expose his involvement and the Nexus's involvement. He's not going to push himself or put himself in that position.
This former leader, Yale, he's on Eos. He was their tie to the Nexus.
Bet he'll have more to say about this.
I'm saving everything we found as proof. It'll come in handy.
Alright, so that is obviously a much later thing. We will definitely finish Kadara before we go all the way back to Eos. But now we have somebody else to go rescue, maybe. I don't remember if she's actually there or not. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't actually remember if we actually get to save this chick or not. Now, whether or not any of these things here, because like I remember there being like a really big fight at that place. I think it was that place anyway. For something, but I don't know. I don't remember what for. I mean, like obviously we'll end up, like I said before, you know, we do end up going back to planets every now and then for side quests and that. I don't think if like you like when I was just burning through the game to get the achievement there for beating it on insane or whatever it was called.
Location of this Johann guy. Hopefully Remy's inside and alive.
Either way, Warden said to prep for a fight.
But yeah, when I was doing that, I don't think I actually had to go back to any of the planets at any point. Like I'm pretty sure if you're just going for like the end of the game, it's not necessary. What happens if I also use pull on that? Dumbass, get shot. Oh my. Aha, stupid berserker. Ah, got him. You might wonder why I do that. Like try and like scan them while the battle is still going. And that's purely because bodies disappear in this game. Now, granted, that won't be the last one that, you know, I come across, but still.
All right, let's find Remy.
Well, assuming that she's here.
Please.
Oh. Oh, here we are. I see it, the other guy didn't make it.
Are you all right?
They were going to eat me.
I know.
They brought a group of us here from the slums, said we'd be safe. I'm the only one left.
You're safe now. It's over.
No, it's not. I'm still stuck in the Badlands, even though I paid my protection fee.
I know. The outcast who wrongly kicked you out of Kadara Port. He sent me.
Are they going to let me back in?
At the very least. Grayson, I found Remy. We need a pickup.
Thank God. I'll send a shuttle right away.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Alright, so now we rescued Remy. You know, the communication in sci-fi, right? It never makes sense. Because, like, right there, right? Like, he's just like, ah, Remy. Grayson, we found Remy. We need to pick him. It's like, alright, I'll send a shuttle. Now, granted, some of this could be happening where we just off screen, I guess. I guess we can go do the firefighters since they're there. I don't even remember where that case. So there's one of the monoliths. Where the... Oh, the other one's over there. It's just buried in all of these fucking beer run, counting bodies, crime scene. Yeah, so much. And hunting the Archons there. Okay, well, we'll definitely fast travel. I forgot they were cannibals. Although if an Asari eats a human, is that technically a cannibal? I mean, there's clearly humans there as well, so some of them were indeed cannibals, but...
The water's on fire. That's not natural, right?
An exothermic reaction from the sulfuric acid coming in contact with water in the atmosphere.
I mean, I'm going to go with that's a yes. Alright, so now this part here is tricky. I am actually going to have to look this up because there is a little that we have to deal with this.
Tech was the answer. A few more like Eos and we're sitting pretty.
No one's sitting pretty yet. The staff of those outposts have a lifetime of work. And that's if your remnant technology keeps working like we need it to.
Look, I spent months out there with sand in my bits. Let me have this.
Alright. See, I wonder, will we go past the wind farm here as well? I don't actually remember how we get into this place. Like, I remember doing like some really fudgy, like, climbing the mountain type deals to get in there when I played it before, but I mean, I imagine that there is in fact a path out. But yeah, I remember just attempting to climb the mountains.
I was hoping for more yar pirates and less shooty pirates.
How the fuck does an Asari even know about yar pirates?
Got them all.
Okay, sure. Did somebody else get them all for you? Like, yeah. Oh, I nailed it. Awesome. Alright, up and over. They're still higher? What? I don't actually know how I'm climbing that right there, but whatever. Arfel. It's fine, if I save my boost until I start to slip, I should be good. Oh, I'll just go there. Ugh. And now they're down a bit. Ah, here we are. Alright.
This must be the hideout of those hackers who attacked Sam. Everyone remember, these people think their virus worked. Sam's gone, and I'm on their side.
Yeah.
This'll be good.
Private channel only once we're in, Sam.
Okay. Now, hang on. Let me check this. Okay. Got it. I just had to wonder, because like when you're in here, you can only scan a certain number of times, and they'll like turn hostile on you and attempt to fuck you up.
I'm Catherine Nye, Knight to my colleagues. I wrote the virus that freed you from Sam.
I don't know how to thank you.
I'm sorry your father did this. The initiative's use of AI could doom us all, and you were the first to suffer.
Did your virus kill Sam?
Sam has been reduced. It's harmless now. I saw the folly of merging humans and AI in the Milky Way, a Black Ops project called Overlord that created a monster. Many died. My son was hurt, and the young man used as a host was consumed. Every Pathfinder risks the same fate.
Alright, so here's the thing, right, with that Overlord thing. If it is the thing I'm thinking of, I do believe that's a DLC for Mass Effect 2. And the young man, it actually depends on how you end that mission. He could very well survive that. In fact, in my playthrough of Mass Effect, he did survive that. Now, the issue I have with that is clearly we left, based on what the Cerberus guy said, clearly we left after Shepard dies at the beginning of Mass Effect 2. And before he gets revived. Now, obviously that DLC would take place sometime after he got revived. There's no, I don't think anyway, any way to know exactly when that would take place. But clearly it's after he resurrected. So as far as this woman knows, the one used as the host was still alive. I mean, to be fair, if you played that DLC, it's fucked up. And alive is technically correct for that guy. I mean, it's not pretty. I'll give her that. It definitely was not pretty, but he was alive. And yeah, like I said, in my playthrough, he lived in Mass Effect 2, and you find him again in Mass Effect 3 with Jack, I think, of all people. And I don't remember why. That was like some school or something that he's at, and because of what they did to him, or maybe not because, because of the way his mind worked is why they used him for the project. Anyway, he thinks weird. He like thinks in binary or some shit. He could talk to the Geth anyway, I do believe, is what Project Overlord was about, was him taking control of Geth by like talking to them or something.
That can happen? I've never heard of Overlord.
I guess your father hadn't either. Excuse me, I have work to do. Unless you have questions.
If you're afraid of AI, why join an organization that uses it?
We needed an escape. I thought the initiative was using shackled AI for research. When I understood it... Well, a firefighter doesn't run away from a fire.
You think the Pathfinders could be overcome by their AI?
Worse. If the initiative thinks the human-AI merge works, they might roll it out to everyone. Imagine Sam's power in the hands of people who weren't ready for it.
What more can you tell me about Project Overlord?
A Black Ops experiment by mad scientists to merge a human mind with synthetic intelligence. Their creation was a horror. I paid a heavy price to get my son out.
I shouldn't keep you.
Thank you. Don't worry about Sam reconnecting. Our AI detector is always watching.
That's good to know.
The virus was a beginning. I'm about to make sure the initiative never repeats its mistake.
Alright, so
Pathfinder, it's unlikely an AI detector could discern our private channel. However, this may not be true for your scanner.
Knight's planning something big. That's not good.
She's dangerous. Let's find out what's up. Discreetly.
okay, so yeah, you can scan. I want to say you can scan 2 things without being detected, but then like once you scan the third one, everybody in here turns hostile. On the subject of 2182 flash crash, nicknamed the Ilium sinkhole, thousands of stock prices collapsed overnight, destroying the value of approximately 1.2 million personal accounts. Responsibility was later traced to a rogue virtual intelligence developed for the Ilium stock market, whose sentience had been illegally modified. Rela Topagis, a senior white hat hacker at the Bank of Nos Astra, gave forceful testimony on the rising use of such VI, which make decisions in milliseconds that affect financial markets across Citadel space, often based on news stories that a non-synthetic stockbroker would know to ignore. As far as the VI knows, it's just moving numbers around, Topagis testified. It might even find that personally fulfilling in ways organic life can't understand, but for us, a decimal point can be the difference between riches and ruin. I'm going to say 1 decimal point probably isn't. I mean, because I was just thinking, like, it's a lot of money, obviously. Like, 1 decimal point could be the difference between $100 or $1,000. That's a huge difference. You know, $1,000 or 10,000, 10,000 or 100,000. Like, yeah, it's a huge, like, it is a big difference. But once again, assuming inflation continues more or less the way it is, by the time we reach this point in history, which granted, I don't know which year, they do give a year of which the first Mass Effect took place, and probably when this one started, but I don't remember what year that was. That 1 decimal point, like the stock market, the money that would be moving in there, like, yeah, it's still a fuck ton of money, but between riches and ruins, I feel is a bit of an overstatement.
Oh, welcome. I'm Laveria. I'm so glad Knight's virus worked. Do you need anything?
It sounds like Knight is taking all this to the next level.
Oh, yes. Very soon now.
Has she told you anything?
Not much. Alain, her son, would know more.
Why did you join Knight's movement?
I know. Me, an underground hacker? Back home, I was concierge on the Citadel. I coded games for my little sisters. They played together, walked to school together. And when those Geth machines attacked the Citadel, the Geth impaled them on spikes. Together.
Oh, crap. That's horrible.
That's why I left for Andromeda, and why I joined Knight.
It's a relief to be free, but Sam wasn't so bad. Each AI is different.
None of the Geth who attacked the Citadel stopped the others from hurting my little sisters.
I'm sorry. Sam would have been sorry too.
Really? It would? Well, thank you.
See you later, Laveria.
Bye. Come by anytime.
Okay, so
This must be tough to hear, Sam.
Those AI are the product of a different civilization. Ours will be founded on organic synthetic partnership. I bridge the hard-earned lessons of the past and the promise of the future.
Okay, so I realize I keep stopping and like explaining stuff, but
Looks like Knight's personal console.
it,
Sam, can you get into it?
Yes, but my access will trigger the AI detector. You'll only have one chance.
Okay.
but
Let's wait until we know what we're looking for.
okay, so if you go with AI, right, it's artificial intelligence, which means every AI would in fact be different than every other AI. Just like every human is in fact different than every other human. Now the thing with the Geth is because of the way they were made, the Geth were more or less the same unit. Like each Geth could be an individual, but the more the Geth worked off of each other. Imagine them all connected by a local Wi-Fi network. So the more of them that are there, the more processing power they had, the more they could think, and the more intelligent they would be. If you know the story of them, the reason why everything went to shit is because at one point, because they made it like that specifically so that they could control them, because as long as you didn't have too many in one area, they would work at a very limited capacity, which makes sense. If you don't want them to get out of hand, you don't give them full artificial intelligence. You have them, so that when you have a task that requires a bit more, you have a few more with you, right? But they got too many together. They built too many of them. They got too many of them all at once. And then the Geth actually started thinking like a person, like an artificial intelligence. I do believe that the whole story went that the first one asked its creator if it was their god or something, or if they were god, or if the Geth was alive or something. Like the Geth asked the person if they were alive. Now the thing with that is the Quarians also took it the wrong way and immediately tried to kill every Geth. They're like, oh shit, they're thinking on their own, we need to kill them, which is horrible, like just absolutely horrible. Now in the second Mass Effect, you actually do get a Geth that joins you, and the way that he joined you is they took the cores, I guess, I don't remember what they called them, but I guess it isn't cores, but they took multiple Geth and put it into one body, which then allowed him to be the equivalent as multiple Geth being around. So it created its own, and because they were all there working together in sync for so long, they all, like, that one Geth became a person, basically, right? Became an individual, I should say. Whereas when you see the Geth on the battlefield and all that, they're all linked to each other to get and they share their tactics and everything, but because of the way they worked, they are still basically one unit. So like when she said none of the Geth prevented any of the other ones from doing that, no, because that would be the equivalent of your left arm stopping your right arm from slapping someone. Like if you want to slap someone, you want to slap someone. It's not your arm wants to slap someone, but your other arm wants you to not, right? And that's how I saw it. Basically, the way that the Geth were explained in the game, that's how I saw it. But like obviously that could be wrong. I'm no AI expert, and I don't know how much thought went into the Geth, and I don't know whether or not that would even be possible on a theoretical level. So all right, Knight, thank you for the ELIZA data. It's so obvious when you run a comparison. The Geth, the SAMs, all our data shows that working AI produce a detectable electromagnetic pattern. It's similar to brain activity in organic life, different cases, but a distinct signature. I even tested it against basic VI. They're not even close. So blathering aside, the answer is yes. All we need is sensors that pick up the EM pattern of an AI operating nearby or interfacing with a Pathfinder implant. And we've got a detector. Child's play. How's your virus coming along? But anyway, yeah, and then also if you played the other ones, you do have an AI in Mass Effect 2 and 3. And in 2, you actually get to, she's a shackled AI. Edie is a shackled AI for most of Mass Effect 2. And then I think it actually might be like right before the end. Because same with like the Geth. Like you get the Geth, I want to say like 2 missions before the end. And I think that's when you release Edie from her shackles as well. And then in all of Mass Effect 3, she's unshackled. And she's, once again, because she's interacting with others and not just a computer, and like she's her own standalone AI. She is more or less a person. She even gets a body in the third game, which is a little weird. At the Sensory Gallery on Kithoy Ward, I could step into a booth and artificially experience rain as a Turian feels it. Elsewhere, I could smell like an Elcor or hear like a Drell. But there's no booth where I could think like an artificial intelligence. Try it. Imagine being 2 or 3 times as intelligent as you are now. You're likely approaching the level considered genius for your species. Now keep going, 10 times, 20 times. The mind reels, doesn't it? And you still aren't as intelligent as an AI. Now consider how differently such a mind might perceive and interpret the world compared to how you understand it. Think how different a sonnet might seem, or a sunset. Then ask yourself, what would such a mind make of our morality, the value of organic life? My lab partners evolved 1,000 light years away, but make no mistake, it is the life on our servers which is truly alien. So once again, the thing is which is probably one of the reasons why, like, the way Sam works would be a good way for an AI to work. The way Edie worked was a good way for an AI to work, because it wasn't just, here, you're now a person, go do stuff. Like I said, Edie was shackled and became less and less shackled as the game went on. Then eventually, like I said, you remove all of them. Because she grew, she learned, she spent time with other people doing, whatever, right? And like same with Sam. Like he said, he experiences everything we experience in a fashion. So yeah, I don't know, it's just, yeah.
You must be Ryder. Alain. My mother's in charge around here. But you're a celebrity. Sorry I can't show you around. I'm stuck sitting here for a few more hours.
Is something wrong?
I'm fine. Just good old Project Overlord. Still kicking me when I'm down. When Mom has... Nope. Can't talk about that. Do you need anything?
Anything you can tell me about Project Overlord?
Black Ops guys trying to make a VI human hybrid. They hired my mother as a programmer. They told me I was a candidate for the human part. And not like my body was doing me any favors. But my implants got hacked, and Mum said we're leaving. Lucky me. Overlord went downhill fast.
If it's all right, can I ask you why you need all these machines?
I had a serious infection in my nervous system. I used spinal implants to walk and, bathroom stuff. But while my mother was working on Project Overlord, my implants got hacked. They still work. I just have to sync them a few hours a day.
Your mother seems to have plans.
Mum's always got plans. A big one's coming up.
Nothing else you can tell me?
I would. But you just arrived. I learned the hard way. Trust has to be earned.
I've got to go.
You know where I'll be.
Pathfinder, I believe we can fix Alain's implants. I have schematics for an appropriate device. It will require time and resources.
Or I could start scanning, but that's risky.
Yeah, so now you, like I said, you have your two options. You can
AI detector.
I can mask this as an error, but future pings
Okay.
might draw attention.
So even just pulling
Maybe
out the
there's
scanner
another way to
does.
find out what Knight's planning, if she gives us enough time.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna do it the peaceful way, because we do have enough time, because it's a video game. You always have enough time. As for like building the thing, it's literally just, we can either go to the ship or just go back to Kadara port and build it. But I'll go build it and work my way back here, and we'll start here next time. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. We'll just get it done now. Although, I fucked up, didn't I? Kind of. Because I was going to say I kind of fucked up because, like, I can, there is a forward station a little bit closer, that I just didn't go and activate. And I think that's probably where the road that go into that place is, instead of going up and over like I did. I kind of wish that since you can call your Tempest in, or not your Tempest, your Nomad in at any forward station, I kind of wish that if you left your Tempest somewhere, you could fast travel back to it. Like, since I fast traveled here, my Tempest was, God, I keep saying Tempest, my Nomad would still be there. And then, I could just build this and then fuck off back there. Alright, so cybernetic device, which takes almost nothing. Like any mission thing, like as you can see, it takes 6 aluminum and 2 iridium. I have 200 and some and 1200 iridium, and I haven't been mining. I think I exhausted like 1 mining node. Like, I've done next to no mining. If you have something that's required for a quest to build, it takes almost nothing to build that thing. Purely so that, like, the mission isn't interrupted by it, you know? Like, even Liam's mission to build whatever, it was like a piece of armor, right? That he never took from you. You build it, and then it's just in your inventory. You could sell it. I think it's worth 0 money, but you can technically sell it. But yeah, like, they make sure that it's on, which is good. I mean, there's some games where it's like, oh, you need to build this to progress, and then it's like, not necessarily labor intensive for me anyway, because of the way I play games. Odds are, if there's a point in the story where I need to have something built, I have that thing built, and I have like 5 upgrades done to it already. Because like, if there's like upgrades to be had, I will be having them. End of story. Alright. Now, unfortunately, because it's Kadara, I think Kadara, I mean, obviously it doesn't take that long, but I think Kadara is the only place where you actually have to call in Nomad every time you come to it.
You like numbers, contingencies, all that. We're going to make it here, aren't we?
I hope so.
It'd be pretty stupid to come all this way just to fail.
True.
Cool. Good to know.
I mean, she didn't say yes. I mean, man, it'd be stupid to come all this way to fail, right? Like, well, yeah, it would. I mean, doesn't mean that we're not going to, but I mean, there was always the chance of failure, right? Also, like, I think I mentioned it before that I think Cerberus had a hand in funding this, but I don't know. I don't, like I said, I imagine that the alright, I fucking lost the goddamn symbol. Where the hell did it go? It's like, I imagine, once again, in a sequel, we would find out more about, you know, the mysterious person who funded this. Like, obviously, the Elusive Man and Cerberus would be the obvious choice based on past Mass Effect games, but at the same time, since he had exiled Cerberus operatives coming here, it makes it a little less likely. The Shadow Broker would be another one, but also not very likely. So, like, I imagine in the end they might have even somebody else, but, like, just based on the other games, those are the only 2 I can really think of that may have the funding and the want to do this. But like I said, Cerberus, I mean, I guess Cerberus could have done it, and, you know, they would have had to fund it for Asari and them too, because nobody would have done it if it was just humans going, you know?
Alain, I put a little something together. This should help fix your implants.
Are you serious? Yeah. Yeah, I can feel my nerves waking up. When Mercury goes down, Mum will lose her mind over this. Thank you.
No problem, Alain. I've got to go.
Thank you again.
Alright.
Mercury. Sounds like a code name for whatever Knight's doing.
This will enable me to find any relevant data quickly.
Let's search Knight's console and
Security protocols breached.
bring up anything tagged Mercury.
Files found. Mercury. A strike to prevent any future AI by destroying all quantum computers on the Nexus.
Damn it. You could use those computers to create AI, but right now they run half the station. A lot of people could die. We need to stop Knight. Now. But quietly. Okay?
Alright. Yeah. So yeah, now obviously the mission is to go back to the Nexus and to stop everything from happening. Which, you know, is obvious, but we're not clearly going to do it yet, because once again, because video games, we have plenty of time. But that'll be it for today. Next time we will head over, well, actually, since we're here, we'll probably go and grab these 2 here. And then maybe, I don't know, we'll either head up here and to the left. What are these ones? Memory triggers, rocks for science, Angaran Relic, and Contagious. So we'll probably go and do this. We'll probably try and get the north part of Kadara done, and then we'll head into this cluster of shit down here, which includes obviously the other monoliths in the vault, and this cave I do believe is the quest to find the Ket. But yeah, that'll be it for this part. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next week for more.